to Girls Only Sports, the Playbook. I am Candace. That is Kay. We are back for another episode. We've been it's been women's sports galore. All the good stuff is going on. But this should be a good, quick episode because we're just going to talk about women who are dominating in the sports world that probably happened in the last, 3 months. It's like 4 or 5 women who just, taking off and taking everything. So follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, Girls Only Sports, everywhere. Look us up, follow us, all that good stuff. So we're going to get started with our full court press, and we want to start off really quick to touch on a head coach change that happened for the U.S. women's national basketball team. We bring that out first because Carol Lawson, who was on the team herself in the past, she's a head coach at the University of Duke, played in the WNBA. She played for Pat Summitt at the University of Tennessee. She's been a part of the USA basketball program for a long time. But the reason we're talking about her first is she has probably the toughest head coaching job. Yeah. I don't know if another person has a tougher job than Carol Lawson taking over the U.S. women's national basketball team in preparation for, I believe, the World Cup that is coming up. Yep. And then the 2028 Olympics, which we expect to be in Los Angeles, like I said, in 2028. So what do you think of Carol Lawson taking over?
Yeah, like you said, it's a tough job to take over right now in that time where who's going to be on the team is very much up in the air. I think I love the pick though. I think Carol Lawson is one of those people that I remember Duke was playing in at the Shot here, either last year or the year before, and I just remember seeing Carol Lawson in person, and I'd be like, oh my god, I feel like I'm 10. Like I'm excited. Right. So she's like one of those people that I seen growing up a lot. But anyway, that's here nor there. I'm excited for the coaching thing. I think she's a great person. She's taken that Duke program and kind of really made it into a threat over the last couple of seasons that she's been there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she can do. I think it was time for a change as well. At the head coaching position, is time to see some new faces in there, making some changes, see what they can do. So I'm excited. We'll see.
I mean, Carol Lawson, if you need some help, call us. We can be some consultants, some assistants, whatever you need. But that job and the big question about who is going to be on that U.S. women's national team, they're going for a job
cut out for her.
Oh, she got a job. Her top 5-ish is probably already set and settled, but the rest of them players, we ain't even gonna get into it because it's a little bit too much. That team probably has the highest kind of expectation where it's legit gold medal or bust, and they're working on, I believe it will be their 9th straight Olympic gold medal in 2028. So shout out to Carol Lawson and good luck. But we'll be here covering it once the World Cup comes around and she has to pick who's on that team. So this episode in particular, we're just going to be talking about, like I said at the beginning, some women who have been taking over women's sports for the last, 4 or 5 months. And the Ballon d'Or, the award given to the best women's soccer player, was just announced today. This is Monday, September 22nd. And once again, we get a 3-time winner, back to back to back. Aitana Bonmatí wins it for a 3rd time in a row from Barcelona. Before we get into the rest of the folks on the list and how they rank, just her being able to, sustain greatness, winning this award 3 times in a row.
Listen, all I want to say is I'm happy that it's staying with Barcelona. I am. I can't be mad at Aitana. You can't. It's like you said last week. You can't deny greatness. It's one of those things. We're in that time where Aitana is really on quite the run for herself, and she's made quite the name. I think she's in everybody's conversation. So yeah, shout out to Aitana. Very happy for her. Happy to see her getting that recognition and getting that shine. And like I said, keeping it on Barcelona. I'm Barcelona. I'm from there, so I'm right for them every time.
You mentioned Barcelona. They've won the last 5 Ballon d'Or. Feminina, I think that's what you say it. So I'm getting it right. Look at me. Alexia Putellas. Mm-hmm. She won it the first 2 times, and then her teammate Aitana has won it 3 times in a row. So it's staying in the family a little bit more, but once you see it break down a bit, I know sometimes we have conversations, it's like, you know, and I had a question in my head to you. Is this one of those situations with Aitana where it's like, we know she's good. Mm-hmm. We know she's great. Mm-hmm. And the standard now is, are you better than Aitana has ever been? And that's the only way that you can win a Ballon d'Or, if my question made sense. Like, how, when you saw the list come out and the rankings in the top 5, like, what was your thought process in how Aitana won this a 3rd time?
Yeah, so this is me completely taking fan bias, Barcelona bias, everything out of it. Mm-hmm. I was shocked. I think a lot of people that cover women's soccer probably was shocked that was the 1-2 that was left. So they announced 3 through 10, and then they tell you who the last 2 are, and it was Mariona and then Aitana. I was shocked personally to see Aitana in that 1-2. I don't think she was in a lot of people's top 3 conversation. I think at the end there it was kind of Alexia, Mariona, and Alessia Russo. Alessia Russo. So I was shocked, and I think, to your point, I think it is one of those things for me personally. Aitana is competing with her first 2 Ballon d'Ors. Right. I think, you know what I mean? And it's hard when you are competing with yourself, because I think Aitana had to fill those shoes on those 2 where she won those back-to-back Ballon d'Ors, coming off Alexia's back-to-back Ballon d'Ors. With her going down with injury, she had to step up. She had to fill those shoes. She had to be incredible. I think Aitana she played her role last season, and I'm not knocking Aitana in any way. I think she had a fantastic season. I don't think she had back-to-back Ballon d'Or Aitana seasons, and I think that's the metric now. I think when you get to that point, I think had it come to Alexia not getting injured after her back-to-back, I think she would have been under that same metric of, you have to be better than you were these last 2 seasons to get that
and
third.
Everybody else has to be better too, or we're just going to give
leaps and bounds. Exactly. Right. So to answer your question, yes, I do think it is one of those things. Well, for me at least, I don't think for them it is because I would argue that she hasn't had that season. But again, let's not take anything away. She had a great season, but did she beat her own standard?
No. Yeah, like her own peak. Right.
I wouldn't say so, but what are you gonna do? It's a award for the glitz and the glam.
But now it's like, what will a player have to do to win it? Obviously there's going to be a next season, and you expect sometimes the same, most of these players are in their peak. The same players are going to be done. Now it's going to be like somebody has to do something. You not only have to be great, then you have to push past extraordinary to even beat, the 2 Barcelona players, because at that point you're basically fighting against legacy instead of everybody's current form. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, that does make sense, but also it begs the question, what do you have to do? Barcelona did not win Champions League this year. Spain did not win the Euros this year. By that metric, Alessia Russo should have been walking away with the Ballon d'Or. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that's the metric, is beating the best, everybody beat Barcelona this year. Outside of their league, outside of league and Copa, whatever. Outside of Champions, the 2 that matter, Champions League and Euros.
Yeah.
Barcelona got beat. Spain got beat.
Right.
They beat the best. They beat the best in the world. You can, I will continue to argue that Spain is producing the best players right now. And by the metric of beating the best to overcome that and winning the award.
And she didn't win.
You didn't give it to a single English player.
Right.
So.
2 made the list. Chloe Kelly made the list too, but it looked like Alessia Russo had a legit claim, like you said. But how again, how do they debate these things at a certain point? What is she going to have to do? Score 50 goals, 60 goals a year?
I think that might be what it takes.
I'm saying goals, caps. Is that the right word?
Right.
My last question going to be, because, I'm progressing in my knowledge of the Women's Super League and all that stuff. And also, the Champions League and the Euros and all that. Spain, England, Barcelona, Arsenal. I tell you, Arsenal is all over my feed now. But what is it going to take? I know, we talk about it a lot, and hopefully it's not repetitive of, American players going over and playing in the WSL. But what will it take for a player who is playing in the NWSL to at least get top 5 in a Ballon d'Or?
Well, I mean, Sophia, I believe, came in the top 5. I think she was top 5 a couple years ago. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't think the Ballon d'Or is a European award. I don't think anybody from NWSL, in MLS, I don't think anybody that plays in CONCACAF, I don't think like the Copa Americas, I don't think those get the respect. The African nations, I don't think they're ever going to get the respect to win those type of awards if you're not either playing in a European team or you're from there. You get what I'm saying? Because also you can look at how that 3 through 10 ended up ranking out, and it's kind of like, what? You can look at the 10 through 30 and you're like, what? So I don't know. For me, it's hard. I think the microscope is very narrow on what it's going to take to be the best, because you could argue too, Liga F is probably one of the weaker leagues that there is, and that's where Aitana and Alexia are shining. As if we're just talking home league, granted Barcelona shines in the Champions League as well, where you're playing everybody else in Europe, but I don't know what it's going to take.
Maybe it's going to be, you're going to have the greatest NWSL season, and then at the same time it be an Olympic year or a World Cup year, and then dominate either one of them, and then you'll possibly be in the top 5, top 3.
Megan Rapinoe won, and that was coming off of that World Cup, so maybe that is.
But she scored all those goals. Like, you got to
do you got to be Superwoman as well.
You got to do the extraordinary.
Yeah.
But that is our Ballon d'Or breakdown. Once again, Aitana Bonmatí wins the award 3 times in a row. Not to be outdone in the WNBA.
Right.
There's just what did Becky Hammond say? You're just in an era where one of the best are currently playing, and for some reason she keeps getting better every year. You all know who it is. See on a shirt.
Back to back.
Back to back. A'ja Wilson won her 4th MVP award. This makes her 4th MVP trophy in 8 seasons, which is ridiculous because technically she probably could have won 5, and then I know she was top 3 for 6 seasons, so 6 out of 8 seasons she's been in the league, she's been top 3 6 times, and then won the MVP itself 4 times. She was also co-defensive player of the year with Alana Smith from Minnesota. She's the first player, I believe, since Cyril Swoops winning the MVP and defensive player of the year again, and then she was able to win it back-to-back, similarly to the legend that is Cynthia Cooper. I mean, what is there to say about A'ja?
There's nothing you can say. It's greatness. We're witnessing greatness right now, and I think I'm very happy to see her win it.
That was what she ran. I think the thing this year is her running down the MVP like she did, because at the beginning of the season, nobody had her on the list. And then them Aces was halfway out the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nobody had her on the list. And when I tell you how she ran down Fee and Alyssa Thomas, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. And you can't deny her. You can't deny greatness. And here we are. Back to back.
Back to back. Unfortunately, we'll get into it a little bit later. A'ja always throw up a stinker every time she win an MVP. I think part of it. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, them aces is dramatic. I'm not even worried about it.
But I think that's what endears, at least it endears me to Asia a little bit, is that, it ain't gonna be easy. Like, she ain't gonna make it easy. Like, she plays her best when her back is against the wall, and every time she got that trophy, it's not been her best game. But this is a player who 99.9% of the time will never have a bad game twice. But we'll get more into that when we get to that. Break down the WNBA semifinals. But shout out to Asia once again, a back-to-back MVP. She has 4 of them things. And I don't even think she's at her peak yet. Yeah, I think there's some elements at her game she can be better. And if you're looking at the next 2-3 years, take out, I know team success is a part of it. All that stuff is a part of it. But, she's reaching the era where other people may win MVP. But I would say, for the next 2-3 years or seasons, she's going to be the best player in the WNBA, and we'll see where she ends up on that all-time list. But a little bit about the voting breakdown. I thought it was going to be close.
I thought it was going to be closer than it was, at least.
I thought it was going to be close.
And I thought there was a different number 2.
Break it down for me.
That's no shade, but I think one person needs to be offended by this breakdown, and that's AT. That's AT. Like, let's be honest. Like,
AT only got 3 first place votes.
Okay, I'm like, you passed that Aitana question to me.
Yeah.
What does Alyssa Thomas have to do? Because you think about it, Alyssa Thomas started this whole wave of the WNBA triple-double. She started that. She's triple-double machine. She is putting up numbers that you're just like, you can't even fathom some of this stuff. What does AT have to do to earn the respect of an MVP? Or is she going to go down as one of those players that's so great and everybody respects her so much, but that has never won an MVP, never, we ain't going to say a championship because they still in it right now.
They still in it.
Yeah. Is that what her legacy is going to be? What is it going to take?
Oh. I think 2 things are working. The biggest thing that's working against her is she's playing in the same era as A'ja Wilson. There's just nothing you can do about that. I mean, it's similar how I would put it to like when Catch was around, when DT was playing, and when Maya were playing and Candace were playing. Like, you could argue Tamika Catchings was individually the best player in the league. Her team never missed the playoffs. You know what I mean? They always end up in the finals. She was so individually great. They never got a number 1 pick because they were just never in a position to have a losing season, so she couldn't get any help. And truly, I think that is what is Alyssa Thomas. I know she got traded from Connecticut. Now she's with Phoenix. That's the problem, is just because she's having these all-time great seasons. It's just that one player who's just playing better than everybody else. And then her team is always 1, 2, 3 or 4, and then that best player is always 1, 2. You know what I mean? If there was a situation where, I remember 2023 where Stewie, A'ja, and AT had that all-time battle for MVP, and that was close. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, Alyssa Thomas got the most first place votes. She had a top 3 team. Breaking all the records, doing the triple-double, but unfortunately, she's living in the Stewie A'ja era, and it's just like, I don't know what she can do. I think if she is able to knock off the Minnesota Lynx in the semifinals, win a championship, I think that kind of momentum going into a next season, knock on all kind of woods that they're going to be in next season, that's what it's going to take. I think right. I think at a certain point she's gonna have to win a championship, or get to the finals and be the best player on the floor in the finals for people to carry that momentum into next season. Other than that, it's just like now she's gonna be still fighting against A'ja, still fighting against Fee, because Fee gonna be pissed off next season. Still fighting against Stewie. Stewie was on one leg and had to remind folks who she was, and then Kelsey Mitchell is showing you why I'm MVP already. And she's going to be coming back next season. And then you have all those young guns, Paige, Kiki. If Caitlin can get healthy, Angel, all these other players are going to be having big seasons. Like Alicia Gray, they at home, man. I think it's just the wrong era. I know that was a long... took me a minute, but...
We got
sorry, AT. Like, we respect you. Like, she's...
It's one of those
She's
things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then she got a 4th place vote.
That's the Asia 4th place vote energy.
That's the Asia 4th place.
We already know who that was.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just unfortunate. Like, I do feel bad because I think it's the next transition for the WNBA to get to. It's one thing to now say, yes, Asia Wilson is a household name. It's another thing of saying Nafisa Collier. Everybody knows Caitlin. Everybody knows Angel. Now people are going to be knowing Paige and Sonia and Kiki and all these different players. But at a certain point, if we can't make superstars in terms of marketing and push, if they can't lead your sports shows, if we can't make Alyssa Thomas a star, she is a star. She's a superstar. She's one of the best players to ever play. But if the marketing behind her can't be pushed, that's the next transition the league will have to get to if they really want to have sustained success, because it'll be unfortunate that she gets lost to history and not have any individual award to recognize it, because she hasn't won a Defensive Player of the Year award either. So
yeah,
shout out to AFI and AT and Fee. Look, you had an incredible season. The second 50-40-90.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm not knocking Fee at all. I'm not saying Fee didn't deserve to be in that conversation either. Again, Fee was coming off of a crazy Unrivaled. Right. This season was meant to be Fee's MVP season in my mind. I was like, Fee's gonna come out. Fee's gonna be on a tear.
She got ran down.
She was, and she was.
She was.
But things happen, y'all.
Right. And like, I know she got 50-40-90. Asia got 50-40-86. So I'm like, ugh. But Fee's MVP, that is all on Cheryl Reeve. And I will go on record saying that Nafisa Collier had no business being in that Las Vegas Aces game when they were up 43 points.
What you calling that?
Stat padding.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure we was gonna say it on the show.
Oh
too.
no, I was saying she was trying to stat pad. At a certain point, you got a statement win on the previous.
And at that point in the season, she didn't need to stat pad. Like
it
was hers.
It was hers, girl. You was averaging 50-40-90 with 20 points, and you can get 30 easy. You did not need to be in that game. You see, Becky took Asian out.
And she was like, "Ain't no point."
They was down by 35. Asia was on the bench 8 minutes in the third quarter. So I'm sorry. Nobody can be. Cheryl Reeve has to take that for her player. Fee had no business being in that game, because unfortunately that's what left the door open. Yeah. And when you have an all-time great who already has 3 MVPs, you give them an opening to go on a 16-game winning streak and go absolutely supernova. That's what happens when you have your star player MVP front runner in the game while you up 43 points. But Fee, you had an excellent season, so I'm not knocking it. And her get back is if they run through the semifinals and the finals and wins finals. And we'll get to that. Oh, okay. She can't get her get back though. She can't get her get back.
She can.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout out a couple people in our She Did That segment. I know I've been talking a lot, but I got a little rant.
This is my favorite part.
They're gonna have to do a better job with promoting track and field in general. I know we talked about it on this show. The track athletes continually talk about it. There's Grand Slam track and all this stuff. But the championships are what matters. The world championships and the Olympics. You don't get no promotion. They're not shown on network television. Granted, it's across the world, so like you had to get up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. No, it wasn't that early. It was like 9 o'clock. Why couldn't they show the world championships on NBC, ABC, CBS? Show them live so people can see these amazing athletes breaking all kind of records. It frustrates my mind that not only do you have to pay, I'm going to say it, you got to pay for Peacock
Right.
And then it's not like their layout is user friendly. You got to search for it, and then once you find it, it's in 3-4 different languages, and you got to find the English version. So it's not like we missed out. I was struggling to see some record-breaking athletes compete, and it just frustrates me to no end that we don't do a better job in the States of showing those world championships for our athletes, because we have two who quite possibly can go down as the best of all time, and Sydney McLaughlin, the best women's track athlete ever, of what she's been able to do. But first I want to shout out Melissa Jefferson Wooden. She run the 100 meters, 200 meters. I think this was the first time in like 20 years and a woman has won the double, which is an extraordinarily difficult thing to do. The first one since the legend that is Shelly Ann Fraser-Price out of Jamaica. But this is the thing. She won the 100 meters running 10.6 seconds. That is the fourth fastest time in history. I'm not talking about just winning the awards. These people are about to break records that we never thought anybody could touch. And Melissa's coming out of nowhere touching these numbers. Like, I think she can drop another 2 seconds? Knocking on wood. Knocking on wood. But she can get close. A 10.6 is absolutely ridiculous. And then she won the 200 meters in a 21.68. That's the 8th fastest time of all time. Most people know FloJo, Florence Griffith Joyner, still owns those world records in the 100, 200. And she's getting close. But yet none of us had the opportunity to see it. The next athlete, we talk about her all the time. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, listen. I don't think people understand how great this young lady is. And this is the track stan in me. There are some records that I thought could never be touched. And the women's 400 meter world record is one that I thought, listen, it was happening at a time where the record, world record holder, it was state sanctioned doping going on at the time. So even though it's a legit record, there's still some asterisks around it. Nobody could touch it. It's been on the books for 40 years. Sydney ran a 47.70. It's unheard of. Like, the idea that somebody who, and this is not her specialty. She already owns the she already owns the world record in the 400 meter hurdles. It is unheard of running a 47.7. She is only like a 1.8 seconds away from the world record, which I 100% think she has the ability to break. Matter of fact, in the semifinals, she broke a 20-year American world record that was held by Sonia Richards-Ross. She broke it in the semifinals. Like, Sydney. Like, Sydney. Go ahead and run the 100, 200 at this point, Sydney.
Right.
Give us all of them. But I fully expect her to break that world record. And if she does, look, I'm putting her, Allison Felix, one of the GOATs. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, one of the GOATs. Jackie Joyner-Kersee, one of the GOATs. FloJo. If she breaks that 400 meter world record, Sydney McLaughlin is the greatest women's track athlete of all time. And I'm stamping it because what she is doing is absolutely... It's just ridiculous. And I'm a little jealous because I cannot run that fast.
We love seeing goats in real time.
We love seeing goats. And then even the second place runner who got the silver medal, she ran a 47.9. I tell you, I would quit track and field if I ran a 47 and came in second place. Ain't no way. I've been watching this sport for years. Nobody has touched 47. I think the only woman who's touched 47 was in a relay split, and that was Allison Felix. But not in no flat 4. If I'm running 47.9, I get sick. I quit. Quit. But right. There goes that Sydney. She's just one of those where you live in her era and she dominates. So shout out to Melissa and Sydney and all the other women who won gold medals at the World Championships. I wish we could have seen you live on network television. But to close out our show, we're going to talk real quick about the WNBA playoffs, the semifinals that has just happened. Game 1 is passed. We're going to try to get this up at some point before Game 2. But this is recorded on Monday. I'm going to put a little star up top. Recorded on Monday. But we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Aces, who are the 2 seed versus the Indiana Fever. They are seeded 6, I think, going into this. with the run that the Aces were going on, albeit that Seattle series. Whoo!
That was one of them ones.
Whoo! Whoo! They turned out the lights quick. It was for a good reason because the Aces got through by the skin of the rim and the flick of a light in 3 games. Laid an egg in game 1, pretty much. They just haven't. This hasn't been a good matchup for the Aces. I think that this Indiana team are playing with house money. Like, they have to have a team play with no expectations. Yeah. And I don't want to put this on the players, but maybe it's just everybody as fans. When you hear Indiana Fever, you don't hear about any other players on the floor outside of Caitlin Clark. She's out for the season, and now you just have players on the floor who are like, listen, we coming out here and balling, and if you can't stop us,
so be it.
So be it. Ohio's own, Cincinnati's own.
Stand up.
Listen, Kelsey Mitchell said MVP home.
For the
give me some of them votes. She came out 34 points, and it was the way she did it. Nobody could stop her going to the basket. She was hitting mid-range. She was hitting 3-pointers. I mean, she was by far the best player on the floor, just unguardable on the offensive side. So my question to you is, Game 2 happening on Tuesday, what do the Aces need to do outside of Asia Wilson not going 6 for 22? Sorry, like...
Yeah.
Next time, give her the MVP trophy after the semifinals. She don't play good when she get the trophy. But what do they have to do in Game 2 to, 1, slow Kelsey Mitchell down, and 2, this is a must-win for them, in my opinion.
I agree. I think this is a must-win, but I'm not too worried about the Aces. I think the Aces play better when they got at least one that they like, all right, we got that out. They got that out their system. You need production not only from Asia. I think you need a bit more production from everybody. Jackie, I'm looking at Jackie, Chelsea, and again, it's one of those things where they.
Jewel Lloyd.
Oh yeah, your favorite. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I even forgot to say it for you. I was gonna let you have your day off from letting.
I'm not gonna go on my rants. I'm ranting out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're done for the day. But yeah, and then like you said, it is one of those things where who's going to be responsible for stopping Kelsey? I think I would argue faster than any player on the Aces, especially in that transition. Like somebody has to. Like, I'm talking about face guarding her. That's it. That's your one job. Like, don't look nowhere else. Yeah. You are locking down Kelsey. But Asia got to play big on the defensive end as well, because Kelsey can dish it, and then that's when Aaliyah Boston can go off. Yeah. I think they did a good job of not letting her go off on top of Kelsey going off.
But they let Odyssey Sims do it.
Who needs to be
Odyssey? Like, Odyssey Sims legit be out the league. She's been on like 4 different teams this season, only to give buckets in a semifinal.
Yeah. But that's what Odyssey do. I think
her a contract.
You expect that, and honestly, the last couple seasons, how Odyssey has played, I'm surprised she doesn't have one.
Right. I want to chalk it up to she was waiting to get on the right team, and she said no to some people, because there are some teams out there where I looking at them like, y'all could have been called Odyssey Sims and never did.
Yeah. So I'm looking for a big Game 2. I'm talking an authoritative win for the Aces. I think they need an authoritative win, because it'll still be in Vegas for Game 2, and then it heads to Indiana.
Yep.
That's where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in a situation where you're going into Indiana down 2. This is a must win for Vegas in that circumstance, because going into Indiana, that crowd is another defender out there against y'all.
Right.
And that's just in the sense, like, that's probably, I would imagine, one of the hardest arenas to play in. The atmosphere it's a lot out there. So yeah, must win Game 2. You don't want to go in there down 2, and then you have to get one in Indiana.
But this is 5-game series, so there have some breathing room. The Aces have been in this situation before in 2022 where they dropped game 1. But it'll be a series, and like you said, the Aces like the dramatics. I fully expect Asia to reassert her dominance.
Yes.
She just don't like nothing easy. She just don't. Like, you got to make it hard and dramatic. Yeah. But that should be a really good matchup. I mean, a really good game in game 2.
Is it going 5? I'm going 4.
I think game 2 would give me a determinant. If it's a statement game for the Aces, I don't think it's going 5. If it's close and they pull it out, I see it going 5. But if Indiana wins, I don't see it going 5. Just because, not saying that I don't think the Aces can win 2 and at least get it back to Las Vegas for a game. It's just that, this is not the time to try your luck flipping the switch.
Yeah.
And I would think the Aces would have known better, but like you said, they like the dramatics. But yeah, I don't see them tapping into something different in 2 games in Indiana to bring it back. So,
all right, I'm going Aces in 4. They about to run 3 straight.
Aces in 4. All right, MVP.
Right.
Can't go out like this.
I trust in the MVP, okay?
Yeah, can't go out like this. The other series, Phoenix and Minnesota, it was an excellent game into the 4th quarter.
Oh, yeah. I was over here about to throw on the old Diana Taurasi jersey. I was like, oh, yeah, Phoenix back. I was like, we back, baby.
Right. That first quarter went by so fast. It was no foul calls. It was no timeouts, no stoppage in play, just bucket for bucket. But once again, Minnesota was able to pull that one out. I mean, at some point in the second half, whether it's the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter, that Minnesota team just starts clicking, and Courtney Williams and Nafisa and Alana and Natisha Heidemann, they get to rolling, and they just
when everybody's hitting on all cylinders.
It's like a well-oiled machine, and I think that's the point where you could tell a difference between a team who is trying to get back to where they were for a team who Phoenix has the talent to be in the semifinals. Yeah. I do not think they have the experience playing together to be in the semifinals. Because they broke apart at the exact time they were supposed to figure it all out, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because they were just, I don't know what they were doing. They were just, there was no system. There was no rhyme or reason. They were just hooping. And I'm like, no. Y'all need a basket. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Minnesota isn't a team where you could play around with in any way. Although Phoenix beat the defending champions, but Minnesota's a whole different beast. So in game 2, I do expect if Phoenix has to get one on the road.
Yes.
What do they need to do in game 2?
They need to be consistent. Y'all need to have every quarters. For 4 quarters. You have every quarter has to be that first quarter.
Yeah.
Both halves have to be that first half. That first half, Phoenix, I was like, oh, what was I worried about?
Yeah.
I'm like,
they were rolling.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't by any means expect Minnesota to run away with this series. I was not that person that came in thinking Minnesota was going to run away with this series. I expected a good fight. I think fatigue might have played a part in the second half too, because you got to think Minnesota's rested. They're the only ones that did not go to 3 games in that first series. Phoenix had just played Sunday? Yeah. Or not Sunday, Friday.
Friday and played Sunday. It was like a 40-hour turnaround.
Exactly. So I expect a full game out of Phoenix come Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I'm going 5 games on this one too. I think this was going 5. No, I didn't guess 5 on the first one. I'm going 5 games on this.
You said 4. Yeah, I'm with you. I think your analysis, I like it. They need to treat that 4th quarter. They need to play that first quarter every quarter. Yeah. And the ball was swinging. They weren't settling on 3-pointers. I know Coach Tibbetts liked them shooting 3s. When you're open, I'm cool. Take them. But Kalia Copper is at her best attacking the basket. Satu can get buckets on anybody because she's bigger than anybody in the guard position. I don't want her settling for threes. And AT, I know she has a height disadvantage on Fee. I would much rather her, I know this sounds, I don't know how this is about to sound, but I would rather somebody else take over a little bit of the load offensively. Maybe it's Ka, maybe it's Satu, maybe it's one of their other guards facilitating the offense. Because I want her, like, I need you to lock Fee down. Like, I need you to be in her chest all game. Because she's the one person, if it's fluid, you ain't stopping Fee. You need to disrupt her. And I want her to be more active on the defensive end against Fee. And that's asking a lot for her to do that and then run their offense. So,
And one more thing for Phoenix, too. Use your shot clock. Why is it 5 seconds gone by and y'all already done shot up a 3? I think they need to slow it down. I think they started trying to go too quick towards the end there when they start getting behind. Calm down. Calm down, man.
They said come down, shoot, and that's it.
That was it.
And that's Phoenix. They are so frustrating.
Let that game and get away from them. I think they let it get away.
Yeah, they did. They were prime position to steal game 1, and as the road team, that's the one you want to get is game 1 and put the home team on their heels. So, who you got game 2?
Game 2, Phoenix. And again, I think they're in the same boat as the Aces.
Aces must win.
View must win. I think it's a must win. It'll be hard for you to.
Phoenix ain't an easy place to play.
Their fans, but
it's Phoenix.
It's Phoenix, and
I'm only saying that to only Phoenix fans is this: they haven't had a full season to mesh. Like most of their players have been out.
I would say this whole season has just been like. This 5 has not played a full game against Minnesota until the
semifinal. Like that is wild. That's like wild.
Your big 3 has not played in a game against Minnesota all season. Everybody healthy at the same time. So
we shall see. Depending on when we record our next episode, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who you got in the finals?
As of right now, after one game played. Am I being a fan or am I being logical? I'm going to be a fan. I don't care. I'm going to go Aces Phoenix because I want to see it and I want Phoenix. Because I'm about to go right back to my roots. And be like, I've been a Phoenix fan.
Been a Phoenix fan.
What about
logical, I just want to see Aces Lynx just because I want to see Asian Fee in the final. Yeah. Like, I want to see Asian Fee and Cheryl and Becky. Like, I need
give me that one too. Give me that one too.
This fuels the drama. The 2 best players, the top 2 teams, 2 coaches who act just alike.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, give me all of that drama. But I tell you, if that Fever team is able to get to the finals, look, I'll be hard. I'm not betting against them because, like I said, you cannot do anything with a team who has nothing to lose, and they are just playing free and grinding out games. And look, if that Fever team get to the finals, I'm picking the Fever. I don't care if they go against the Lynx. And
if it's the Lynx,
they won the Commissioner's Cup against the Lynx without Caitlin and them too.
You so right. They know, I was gonna say if it's the Lynx, I don't think the Fever beat them. But you right. I forgot about that. The egg
in the Commissioner's Cup. So that's my prediction. Logically,
they're not doing it twice.
Aces Lynx. But if the Fever get to the final, the Fever are winning the WNBA championship. That is our show. Please follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, our website, girlslinksportsnetwork.com. Please leave us comments. We love talking in the comments about who's going to win, especially on TikTok. All of our TikTok fans, please let us know who you got for the WNBA championship or who's going to win either the semifinal series. Once again, I am Candace. That is Kay. This is the Playbook, and we are Girls Only Sports.